Hey guys, Cisco Borez, Realtor here. I wanted to make this video today to talk to you about how to best prepare and optimize your house for sale in this market. And when I say this market, I mean Connecticut, spring 2021, which is very different than other markets. You know, we're still living in the world of low inventory and heavy buyer saturation here in Connecticut. So I wanted to make this video that's relevant to that. If we were in a different, more balanced market, we might be talking about bigger things like paving driveways and redoing kitchens and remodeling bathrooms. But today I really want to focus on the things that you can do that are inexpensive, that are going to help you best present your home, right? But before we do that, I want to talk about the biggest mistake that people make when they start thinking about, or I'm sorry, when they start taking action on getting their house ready for sale. And the biggest mistake they make is not bringing in a real estate professional early on in the process that can advise you on the preparation, right? You don't have to wait until you're all done and ready and you think your house is good to go and you're ready to sign contracts. Then you call your agent to come in and get you listed. That's not the wisest approach. The most successful sellers are the ones that get their experts and their professionals in on the strategy level, on the preparation aspect of the sale process, right? Um, you as the seller are typically your own biggest critic, and you're going to focus on things that to you are important because you remember the day that your kid scratched the paint on that wall, or the day your husband chipped the granite in the kitchen, and those are going to be the things that needle at you. But the truth of the matter is, bringing in a professional and a third set of eyes is going to give you kind of an impartial look, something a seasoned feel of what buyers are going to be looking for. Because when it comes down to it, that's the appeal we want to take hold of, not necessarily, what irks you as the seller, right? And people do some weird stuff when they get their house ready for sale. I've had people say it's really important for me to paint the garage, or I got to reorganize the attic, update something with the electrical system, or paint some wild color that I never would have painted when I was living here, but I have an uncle that once sold their house in 1996, so they're an expert on selling, and they told me that this is what you have to do to sell the house. Or HGTV says curb appeal, curb appeal, curb appeal. That's a tongue twister. But anyway, so it's important to talk about not just all the things you can do, but what you should be doing. You really need to know your market before you make these kind of big decisions. And that's where having the agent is going to help you, right? Because it's more than just going on Zillow and seeing the estimate that they put up for your home. There's a lot more to it than that. You need to know how close you are to the top of your market in your neighborhood, right? Because that's how much meat is left on the bone, or how much you can really improve your value before you cap out, right? We're in a market today, in the spring 2021 market, which I referenced, where we're fighting more against the appraisal value than what buyers are willing to pay, because all the houses that come on the market that are properly priced and properly marketed are getting well over asking price and multiple offers, and the quote unquote bidding war. But what the typical seller isn't necessarily aware of is what an appraisal means, and how you're kind of capped out most of the time by what an appraiser values your house at. That buyer is not going to be able to get a loan beyond that appraisal value, and that appraiser is mostly going to be focused on the comps in your neighborhood, where your home is situated, the general age of your home, things of that nature that are really typically mostly outside of your control. So again, that's why it's important to bring in a professional on this. You don't want to end up losing money that you're throwing at a house that you can't get back because you're already the nicest house on your street. Another thing is, I don't want to see anybody get caught up in the things that are not immediately apparent. A lot of people make these decisions to fix things that are more pride driven than business and bottom line oriented. That's why you bring in a real estate business professional to advise. And I'm sorry I keep beating on that dead horse, but it's important to have somebody on your side that can that lives it every day, that is in it day by day by day, and not just a parent who sold the house 10 years ago. We will get into some things that you can some decisions and things that you can do on your own, but I just really want to hammer home the importance of that, because every house is different. Every property does have different needs. Um, so backing up, don't get caught up in the things that are not apparent to people walking through the home, the decision makers, the buyers, right? You don't want to let pride get in the way. Um, these are items that typically won't change a buyer's mind, and appraisers either don't care or won't see it. Um, Classic example I mentioned, I was going to talk about a little more earlier. Let's say you have older BX wiring through your basement, and you want to replace that with a more modern Romex cable, things of that nature. Well, those are things that the typical buyer is not really going to focus on, right? These are things that might make you feel better, so that when you get to the inspection, you feel like you've put forward the best possible product. But our buyers know that they're not buying a new construction home, and inspectors are going to validate their existence, regardless of how much preparation you've put into it. If that's not the issue that they're going to find, then they're going to find something else. We want to focus on the things that put the best display out, right? We want to focus on the things that are immediately apparent to people walking through your home, that are going to be buying your home, and what's important to them up front, right? Um, so in this market, the best things you can do are the inexpensive preparations that you can make. Um, it's These are no-brainer items that don't cost you a lot of money, and in almost every case are going to benefit the sale of your home, whether it's speed, the amount of offers you're going to get, how far over your asking price people are going to be willing to go because of the feel they left your house with, right? So just to do a quick punch list with you, lighting fixtures, right? Lighting fixtures are typically pretty inexpensive. Just changing, the chandelier or the light fixture above your dining room table can really like transform the whole feeling of the room, right? It can take you from something that makes you feel like you have to wear a tuxedo to walk into to a modern, light, airy feel. The light bulbs in the light fixtures, right? If you have these deep yellow incandescent bulbs, it may be time to upgrade to LEDs with a nice white light that makes people feel like the house is more modern and it's more airy. They're almost like they're being outside, right? Um, that's a perfect example of something that can change the outcome for a few bucks. Another thing you can do, kitchens sell homes. We've all heard this term, kitchens sell homes. Well, you can update the vibe in your kitchen with just a simple change of hardware. How many times have you walked into a kitchen with solid oak cabinets, but they have these circa 1984 hammered bronze handles on all the doors? Well, taking a $3-4 per door to put on a modern brushed nickel, uh, pull handle that you can get at any Home Depot that now matches all your nice, stainless steel appliances will totally optimize your kitchen and give it a good vibe that anybody's going to be more happy to take advantage of. Um, the next one, and probably maybe the most important, most impactful thing you can do without spending a lot of money, is to declutter, right? Get a dumpster and get rid of like the extra unnecessary furniture that you're not going to take with you to your new home. A lot of you are downsizing, so clear those rooms out. If you have a living room where you have a sofa, a love seat, a chair, maybe it's time to get rid of the love seat to open up the room. It's more important at this point to display a vast open area than it is to be able to see all your guests. After all, you are trying to prepare your home for sale. Um, so not only furniture is a part of decluttering, but your tchotchkes. A lot of people like to fill up shelves and counter space with little items or decorative things, picture frames, things of that nature that are meant to fill up the empty space. Well, when you're preparing for sale, empty space is your friend. Empty space gives a buyer the thought of an opportunity to do what they want to do with it, right? Um, Decluttering also, this is immensely important. Clear your countertops, right? Your kitchen and your bathroom countertops. In your kitchen, if you have your toaster, your coffee maker, your fruit bowl, your banana hanger, your napkin holder, all this stuff that you use, I'm not saying it's not useful on your countertops. Well, your potential buyers are going to come in and they're going to think to themselves, okay, well, when I want to prepare dinner, where am I going to, put this mixing bowl, or how am I going to get the, you know, get the get the pasta strained, or whatever the case is. People like to see open workspace. Conversely, the reverse is not typically the case with buyers. If they don't see a coffee maker and a toaster on the counter, they're not going to try to picture, oh, where am I going to put that? It's nice, empty, open workspace offers opportunity, right? The same goes for the bathrooms. Don't leave out your soap dish next to the soap dispenser, which is next to the cup, which is next to the toothbrushes, and then you have your toothpaste and your hairbrush and your you don't even know what color your bathroom sink is anymore because you got so much stuff on it. Super important to get that stuff out of the way. Hide it any way you can. You don't want people walking through your house during showings, walking by your toothbrushes anyway. So clear that stuff out of the way. Um, Another thing that will make your square footage decluttered and look more vast and open, area rugs. Pull those area rugs. If it's not absolutely necessary, other than the one that's by the door that you wipe your feet, get rid of it. Oh, forgot to put the phone on vibrate. Sorry about that. Get rid of that area rug. It shows more of the floor. When you can see more of the floor, whether it's hardwood, tile, even carpet, whatever the case, um, more of that floor shows more open space, makes you feel like you're in a bigger space, maximizes your square footage, right? That's the plan. Um, Another thing, do the best you can to maximize your natural light, right? If you have windows with big, heavy window treatments, dark colors on them, unless you're living in a historic Victorian home, you don't need that. Get rid of it. By the way, don't pay any attention to the dark window coverings on my windows. I'm not selling my home right now, so I don't really need to take all my own advice at this moment. Um, so I digress. The other thing, light canceling or light darkening shades. I'm not sure what the term is for that anymore. Um, Keep those open or replace them. If for all night shift workers that sleep during the day, it's great and useful to have a nice dark bedroom, for your utility. But for the purpose of sale, you want bright, airy, open, right? Okay. So next really important thing, which is kind of a subconscious thing for the buyers, but it is really important in the real world, and that is ditch any artificial smells, right? Um, I know we all like our plug-ins and our spray deodorizers, and I know everybody loves a nice apple aroma candle. Um, Essential oils are a big thing right now. You don't need it in this market. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to put off more people than it'll help. I'm sure it's a pleasant smell, but even though it's a pleasant smell, it's going to be unfamiliar to the buyer that's coming into your home, right? It's not what they're accustomed to. It's not what their home smells like. So because of that, it takes them out of the mindset of, wow, this could be my home. I feel very at home here. Your sense of smell is one of the most important senses. that you have. It's something that brings to light so many memories, more so than any other sense, right? So you want to keep that as neutral as possible. You want to keep people with a clean palate so that they can come in and make themselves at home. Um, so ditching smells. If that smell, by the way, if that smell is covering something that you may not be able to help. Let's say you have a humid basement with carpeting, or you have cats that have a litter box nearby, and you're covering those smells. Well, that might be indicative of a bigger issue. And maybe ripping up a carpet and replacing that flooring, maybe that's something we do need to talk about, or we do need to consider going forward. Because like I said, there is such an importance on smell. Okay, so best thing you could do for smell, open some windows. If you get an opportunity to do that, especially prior to showings, keep some windows open as long as it's not raining or freezing cold outside. You don't want people shivering when they're walking through your home either. Last inexpensive tip, keep your lawn cut and clean. Okay, that doesn't mean you have to hire a landscaper to come in and put down, bluestone stairs and reclaimed cobblestone pavers and an S curve going out to the street. We don't need huge landscaping projects. I'm just talking about, let's keep the grass cut nice and short. Don't leave junk in your yard. You don't want somebody coming into your property and thinking about how expensive it's going to be or how time consuming it's going to be to keep all this grass cut, right? And if it's already cut and neat, not only does it give them a vibe that these people took care of their home, but it also gives a vibe of keeping the thoughts of all the lawn care out of the psyche of the buyer, right? Okay, so those are like the big inexpensive things that you can do even before you need to consult with an agent to optimize your home for sale. I think it's really important to focus on the inexpensive things first, especially in this market. And going back to this market, if you've watched some of my previous videos, this market is incredibly seller friendly, and time is one of those resources, actually the only resource that I'm aware of that you just can't get back, right? So we're in this low inventory market where sellers have all this advantage, and you really should be taking advantage of that. And if you spend time, all this time, doing all this preparation, you may miss the boat. I can promise you, and I don't make guarantees of the market, but I will guarantee you that this won't last forever, right? We don't know. You're not going to get a notice in your email saying, "Oh, 2 months left in the good sellers market." There's always going to be a prognosticator out there that says they know what's going to happen. But the truth is, you really don't. Your agent has a better idea because they can see, how many listing appointments are going on, and they can talk to other agents and say, hey, how many listings do you see coming out in the next few weeks? And those are good indicators. But again, there are professionals like myself that are in the field every day working this thing. So don't overthink it. Ask a professional. Do the inexpensive stuff first. Call me, message me if you have any questions. I am happy to consult with you. A consultation to talk about what you can do to prepare your home. Your specific home does not lock you into working with any individual agent. Any agent that says, I'm not doing a consultation with you unless you sign a contract with me, it's probably not an agent you're going to want to be in business with anyway. Always be with somebody that has the heart of a teacher. If you have any specific questions, call me, message me, text me, email me. Let's talk about it. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe to this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.